Welcome to my channel, Sunshine Shoulders. I'm Calvin. Thank y'all so much for stopping by again. Well, we finally made it to Cagayan de Oro. We get ready to go and get our tickets to the boat. We still got about a 10, 12-hour boat ride to Cebu, then on home. And, we did that because really, I'm not going to blame it on Maryland. Both of us, we really don't like to fly. But we rode a bus from one end of Mindanao to the other. Altogether, 12 hours. Now we've got a 12-hour boat ride just to avoid a 50-minute flight. you figure it out. But I'm going to make a video about it because I'm going to show you my trip. But she's Filipino rich now. Has money changed her? I thought I'd talk about this because I believe that's a big red flag. Most of the women that we deal with, they come from pretty humble beginnings, and we go back and forth on a lot of stuff. Whether you're rich over here when you come over here, how much it costs to live here, etc., etc. But one thing you can't argue about, when you get involved with a woman over here, the women that we get involved with, by the way, you change their lives. They go to a whole other level of living, a whole standard of living. Okay, you cannot argue with that with me. Some women, most women over here handle it very well, but some don't. So this is a question you have to ask yourself. And it's going to take you a while. You're not going to be able to see it right away. But if you do, it's a red flag. Has she changed? Her living standards have changed. She's living a whole lot better. She's eating better, obviously. Driving a better car, motorcycle, living in a better accommodations. How's that changed? I'll just talk a little bit about my situation. Honestly, Marilyn has changed very little. Okay, her taste in clothes is still the same. She goes to the Sari store. Does she enjoy this new life that she's living? Because Filipino standards, Maryland's rich now. With those 2 houses and 2 lots. No matter what, she may sell it, take the money and squander it. But she's Filipino rich. It's just like when I was growing up, they called it ghetto rich, or, the N-word rich. And, when you had, a few $100,000, a lot of the dope dealers in the community I grew up in were considered ghetto rich. But other than that, she really hasn't changed. Her personality hasn't changed. She doesn't treat people any differently than she did before. Now, some of her friends, they avoid her all of a sudden. I mean, before we built that house, friends would come over all the time. But now that Merle has a nice house and a pretty good standard of living, they don't come around for some reason. They communicate on Facebook. Now, her taste in, school for her kids and stuff like that has changed a little bit. She does like, warm showers now. But even though sometimes when the power was out, she still takes those cold showers. Remember, you got to watch for this stuff, guys, because sometimes it will change. I'll give you an example. John's girlfriend at the time, he was telling me that now all of a sudden she doesn't like to ride in pedicabs now that she's with him. Even though that was her mode of transportation her whole life until she met him. Is this human nature? I don't know. Because I'm going to tell you something. Most of the women we deal with, I'm not saying all, but most of them, they come from pretty humble beginnings. I saw a crazy video the other day. It was so crazy to me. May make sense to you. He says, either how to meet upper class Filipino women or where to meet upper class. And I'm thinking to myself, well, hell, you wasn't dealing with upper class women in your country. What makes you think you can come over here and deal with upper class women? Okay, but that's just one example. She didn't like pedicabs anymore. I'll give you another example. Okay, when we had our housewarming, we invited some people over, and John's girlfriend said, yo, oh yeah, I want a house, John. Right then there she wanted a house. But the other couple that came over, the woman said, oh, this isn't big enough for me. Now she's from the deep province. Don't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out. But she's in there, she says, this isn't big enough for me. My kitchen has to be bigger. It has to be another bedroom. See, when you get with a woman and she starts acting like that and talking like that, guys, that's a red flag you need to look out for. Okay? I mean, that's like a flaming red light right there. I don't think if Marilyn had that type of attitude, we wouldn't be together. Okay, I'd got rid of her a long time ago. Okay, but this is a call you're going to have to make. But some of them, they do change. They flaunt it. I told you the story about the woman who, the husband gave her money to go back to the Philippines to visit the family. She's flaunting the $13,000 to $16,000 he gave her in the bank on Facebook, of all places. But majority of the women, all the women I've dealt with, they never change. They're still the same. And it's probably going to be the case for you, but I'm making a video because we changed their lives, guys. You can argue about a whole lot of foolishness that we argue about. Does she have a college degree, this and that, is she a 10, is she a 5? But you cannot argue the fact that you've raised her standard of living, probably 1,000%. Okay? And the way she handles it says a whole lot about her. In my opinion. My wife, soon to be ex-wife, she never changed. When I took her to America, she's hanging around friends, right? So she buys this expensive Michael Kors purse. The very first thing she bought in America. It's $300 something. It was on sale, normally $400. She did that with her first paycheck. And I didn't say anything. Don't you know where that purse is right now? That purse is down in her mother's house in Zamboanga. And she's using it to store clothes in it. See, that's the type of attitude I'm saying that most Filipinos, they keep when they come into, the good fortune of meeting a foreigner and, becoming Filipino rich. But there are some that they flaunt it, man. They think they're better. Now all of a sudden, they change. We got friends now who, they're rich now. It's like they don't even know us anymore. And it's kind of shocking to me. But not all of them. This is something you're going to have to determine. Has she changed? Has me coming into her life made her a better person or worse? Is she taking advantage of my kindness? Is she doing good, to other people with her good fortune, man? This is stuff that you want to take a look at, man. We talk about a lot of stuff on here, but mostly it's shallow stuff. This can kind of forecast how long your relationship's going to last, or whether it's going to work out or not, or her motives, because they all have ulterior motives. But I can say I've been fairly fortunate. I don't paint all Filipinos with the same brush because they're not the same. Okay, some don't deal with foreigners. Some have more money than others. Okay, some have no character. Some have all the character you want in a woman. But they're not all the same. But it seems to be that a lot of the women that we date on those dating sites, they have a lot in common. So this is one thing that you could easily look for. Is she snubbing her nose up at her friends now all of a sudden? Okay. She doesn't like to go back to the province because she thinks she's too good now. Or whatever it is. I wanted to make the video because this is just another way that you can tell whether or not you're with a good woman or not. And to some people, their woman's always going to be different. anything you talk about, she's the exception. But some of you guys, this is something that you can look at after a few months, maybe even right away. If she wants to go shopping in the mall all the time, or you buy her a gold chain or something else, it's not good enough. Or the money you give her, it's not enough, even though it's more than what she earned in a whole entire month before. See, this is red flags you can easily look for, man. But if you pussy whip and all that, now she's the best thing that ever happened to me. If you blind to the fact, man, this video is not going to help you. But she's Filipino rich now. Has money changed her? Just ask yourself that. That's all I'm saying. In my case, I've been fortunate. They didn't change. Their tastes, have changed somewhat. But if one of Marilyn's family members comes over and needs something, if we got it, we'll give it to them. A uniform or whatever it is. Food. She still does that. Marilyn's the same woman I met 5 years and 3 months ago. Because our month anniversary was yesterday. She didn't remember, but I did. So thank y'all so much for stopping by. Just a simple video. Another video to make you go, is she changing? I told you about the guy over in America. Now all of a sudden his wife doesn't want to do this and she doesn't want to do that. Now that she's in America. See, that's another way you can really tell. When you bring her to your country, did she change? Or is she still the same? Does she still clean up? Does she still wash your clothes and everything? Or is she complaining now? So if you're in America, in the Philippines, wherever you are, find in your heart to help somebody. Not a day goes by that we don't help somebody. That's another thing. Marilyn doesn't change with that. Marilyn's not the exception though. Okay, because some things she's changed, but she doesn't flaunt it. I'm talking about their personality. Because money really doesn't change you. It just kind of shows you who you really are, so to speak. You understand what I'm saying? Because if I don't know anything else, I know there's one thing for sure. We help other people, we help ourselves. Take care. Stay safe, stay out of trouble. I'll see you next time. Just another red flag to look for, guys. Because there's a lot of differences over here. Remember I told you that we have to go through 3.5 women before we find the right one. Okay? Don't do anything stupid. Don't give her all your damn money. Take care.